I would encounter an agency that you really clicked with them creatively, but they had no structure to make it happen. And sometimes you would get with an agency that you didn't click with and they didn't have structure. And it was like everything was like, oh, well, everyone's saying this and they're important people saying this, but it's not what my people are saying, you know? And then you encounter the agency that you click with creatively and they have a structure and a process and a plan. And I'm like, that is unique. I was explaining to her that that's actually unique to find people like that. So often with marketing, people just ideas and then wing it.
Yeah, airy-fairy.
Yes, and so I was just trying to explain that to her, and that, so, you know, hearing your stuff on the last call, feeling how we can all, I mean, there's no doubt we can work together well creatively, all of us.
Yeah.
But to see that you have a structure behind it sets me at ease, you know? So.
Good.
That's great to hear. I mean, I spent a lot of time, I mean, my business restarted in 2009 after that accident, as I said, but since 2012, I've just been finding the very best people who do what they do better than anybody. And the team that we have now is genuinely world-class in terms of our abilities and the synergy of how we work together. I mean, I had 5 people sitting around. I said, everybody stop, just come and sit around the sofas because I want to tell you about Gifted. And we all had coffee and we just sat and I just told them the story for the whole social media team that works below me here. And I just leave it at workstations, come and sit down. I just want to tell you about this story. And it was, I mean, everybody's fired up. So at this end, so
great.
That is great. Okay.
Well, we're fired up too.
That is awesome. So obviously they say the devil's in the detail, but it's not. But we want to make sure that we've covered off the stages, which we've itemized, but also an operating budget, because we haven't really talked about that. So I don't know if you had a chance to read your email in the last hour or so, but Erin and I put together a proposal that we sent to you.
Oh.
I saw that when I was clicking on the link. In fact, I forgot to turn my camera on because I was trying to open.
Okay, well, I've got it open, so I could walk you through that, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Would that work for you both?
Yes.
Okay, awesome, great. So typically, as I said on the last call, I don't normally do a contract until we've got a yes, but as I say, I'm feeling very in alignment with this. So you should see a Word document saying Gifted Book Launch.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Because I have 2 screens, I want to make sure. So obviously you have a hard stop in June, which is the launch. And obviously we're just coming up to Christmas. So there's a little bit we can do in between now and sort of the new year in terms of getting forms, getting things set up. But really we would be starting right out of the gate at New Year. And just to walk you through this, the big intake is obviously this is like our 4th call, which again is unusual for us. But what we're trying to do this time is get to know you both. Typically we get social media logins, but I don't know if there really are any. So we would create all of that. We need some collateral around the word gifted. If there's a typeface or anything in the works that we could maybe use, because we have to hang a hat on something to do that. But getting the setup is part of the intake, and then me spending time with both of you, maybe individually, and Erin, just finding those background stories. Not that we'll use them all together, but getting some photographs of you with your family, you as a child, and some of the influences that came into the book, so we can start to paint that picture around your stories as part of that intake. And then the strategy to begin with is to timeline the 6 months out, look at the web development, the lead generation development, the social media audience build, and sort of we'll put that actually into a calendar. So you'll have the calendar, you'll see what we're working on each week, you'll see results from each month of how many people the pages has grown by, more importantly, the depth of engagement. So all of that will come into the strategy. And then once we get some collateral, we pick a font and the color palette and everything that goes with that. So if you remember, I showed you these kind of Can I take this over onto the screen? 1 second. I have to stop sharing, I think, and start again. Where did I just put that now? It's hidden behind another document. Where am I? Sorry. Okay, now let me just start again. More haste, less speed, my friend. Desktop 2. So if you remember, we had these kind of graphics.
Mm-hmm.
So we'd have lots of different pictures. We would have a custom font so that people would know, like, that's a Monet, that's a Dali, that's a Renoir, and they would know that's a Gifted. So that sort of kind of look and feel of stuff that we go through. And eventually the 6 characters, who's your favorite. And so many, many things like that will come out of this. And then from that, going forward, would be part of that is the setup of going into that. And then we have, I went through the VIP Platinum page, but these stages are not necessarily sequential. I mean, there's 5 facets to that, but it's not necessarily that one follows the other, because
they're all happening at once most of the time.
Yeah, they pretty much do, because the brand, all of those pieces, come out of it. The story will come over time. The content will come over time. The website we can get straight onto. And then the white glove project management is kind of like the background of just how we do. I'm looking sideways because I have 2 monitors in case you're wondering why my head's cocked to one side. So what we try to do is just put together like a letter of agreement that if this works for you, and then again, no commitment to sign it today, but just so you've got something more concrete. And then how that works is the one-on-one, which is with Erin and me specifically around each social media platform, giving you the detail of what we're doing there and getting your feedback. Because we spend a lot more time on social media than I know you guys do, but we need you to be part of that process and really understand and play with us in that as time builds out. So it might be, Paul, that you and I just do a Zoom interview like this that we might live stream on Facebook. And we said, so let's talk about James. Let's talk about the spyglass. Let's just talk about what he can see. And then another time, Kim, it might be Erin and you or me, or let's talk about Charlotte. And I don't know what even Charlotte does. So anyway, but
I love Charlotte.
I got that.
I think I love her too.
So we could do a screen share. We could have some images, and then I'll be the interviewer, and we'll use those. We can transcribe those, but that way people are starting to get to see you, but you're not standing alone in front of a camera. It's very much a soft interview style. So we can build those up, and we can schedule those, sort of meet the author Mondays or something like that, and maybe at 7 o'clock in the Eastern time or whatever we decide, that we might just do like a live Q&A on Instagram where people can just ask questions in like a live stream feed, and we could facilitate all those kind of fun things. And then we'll also have a weekly, bi-weekly call where we'll not just give you updates, but we'll brainstorm ideas of how we get to that 10,000 sales, and who can we talk to, and who can we leverage. And so there's a background to the strategy, but there's also a foreground to the audience, and those two would run in parallel. And then as a company, we run a lot of training, which consists of 4 tiers. One is a weekly call like this, which I call virtual coffee, where anybody, we have typically 25, 30 people join me every week who are different people in our paid programs. And the beautiful thing about this is the ripple effect of me telling your story to all of our clients around the world.
Huge ripple effect, you guys. And I'm just saying that right now. I want to interrupt quickly because the people that are on these virtual coffee and the boot camp stuff, they're very influential people. And so, yeah, just even that in itself is, good to.
They'll get to know you and love you within the group. The next boot camp starts January 15, so we'll have 60 or 70 brand new people joining us for a 5-week boot camp, which you don't have to do, but it would be great for you to be a part of, because then they get to know you. Power Content is the next course that follows on, so that'll run to the March time, which is a much more deeper blogging course. But again, great people in that. Again, ripple effect, and we'll be writing blogs with you through the website for the story, and that's those blogs or news articles or PR pieces, if you like, which is what we'll be distributing. And then typically twice a year, I run this program called VIP Group Access, where I get about 10 businesses work with me exclusively in a small group for about 4 months. So you would be part of that 10. And again, the courses are covered, but very much small group masterminding within our network that I'll be helping you with. But I'm more interested in the ripple effect, so they get to know you two. and we can build that out. And then the measurables that come through, how we do reporting, how we do the startup, how we do the setup, it's all in there. We talked about website design, and this I won't go through this line by line, but this covers off that we'd create a custom WordPress website for you that would totally tie in with Drip, that would totally tie in with all of the social media activity that we're running, and we could get that built. My goal would be to have that built by the end of January. Now, I know you said you've missed a deadline with somebody else, and they may be doing something on an undetermined platform.
They're doing a funnel.
They're just doing the funnel. Okay, but we still need that anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, that's totally not the website. That's
Right.
Yeah. It is the funnel, but we'll integrate that into, and that's in Drip, right?
The funnel is in Sales Funnels.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh, I knew that. Okay, that's fine. Because Sales Funnels, ClickFunnels, I mean, they're very similar. So
ClickFunnels, yeah. Whatever the main one is with the guy in Boise, Idaho, that's the company.
Okay. And then Drip is the email campaign that you bought to do that as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Lindsay and I one of our team members was going through Drip, and we looked at it again. She said, I worked for Drip about 2 years ago. Man, has it changed.
Oh.
So, very exciting. We have one client who uses HubSpot extensively, so we had a long chat to her yesterday afternoon about how she's integrating she uses ActiveCampaign with HubSpot and how that's working for her. And so we brushed ourselves up on HubSpot a little bit too. So the lead generation, all that goes into that. And then I don't talk about the number of posts per day or the number of posts on. I mean, you'll get what you need and more besides. I'm never a measurable like, oh, I only got 15 posts this week. It's like, we never talk. I might post 6 times one day and we just know what the audience is looking for. Weekends will be more skewed, evenings will be more skewed. And we've got different members of the team talking about who would own which piece of platform. But suffice to say, Facebook is big for us, and we'll also do a lot of coaching for YouTube because you need to be super comfortable with Facebook, so that if someone does ask a question, maybe Aaron just might text you and say, "Hey, Paul, can you answer this question?" Because we may not have the answer, but if they feel that they've got a hotline to the authors, I think it's going to be really cool. But we'll let you know when you need to make. I had a client last night at 8:30. He builds Timberlog home kits, and they got a message from a lady in Paradise, Northern California, where that the whole area got burnt out, and said, "Yes, I lost my home in Paradise. I just found you guys online. Could you help me rebuild?" And no kidding, within 5 minutes at 8:25 last night, we've written back saying, "Juan, we'd love to help you. The office isn't open till 8 a.m. Give us your number. We'll have Joanne call you tomorrow morning." Went, I didn't even expect someone to answer. That's great, you know? But that's the kind of agency that we are. And I have this really doesn't leave me until I go to sleep. So so we would do some of that as part of that. We would be very robust within Google, which is more for SEO, search engine optimizations around fantasy books, different genres and stuff, that we really get Google to know who you are. And that's where the review system comes in. People writing, so you want those reviews on Amazon, right? For some of the early sort of editions that not for sale copies or whatever we send out. But we also want to give those to Google too, so that Google can start ranking you because of reviews. Okay. Same with LinkedIn. You know, we want to beef up both of your personal profiles to feature the authorship piece, so people can see that, you know, the marketing in the hospital and the dealership and everything that you've done, Paul, or you've done, Kim. And then you can see the passion for Bob Proctor, the passion for world change, the passion for creating story, and we'll link that into your LinkedIn. Oh my gosh, take a breath.
No, water break.
It's okay to breathe, Jonathan.
I'm just like, I've
this
got
is
so
him
much
all day long. This is him all day long.
I don't know how much you know about Instagram, but Instagram, they call Facebook's new Facebook, because this is where it's at. There's no question that our millennial audience, this is where they are, and we're going to have so much fun. And I've actually got 2 different millennials already timed up to do your Twitter and your Instagram.
Yes.
To play with that. So we'll do a lot of that, what they call Instagram stories. You may have heard of this word FOMO, which is fear of missing out.
Yeah.
These Instagram stories only last 24 hours and they're gone. Yeah. So we want to create this whole, that they have to keep coming back in case they might miss something. You know, maybe it's an excerpt from a chapter, maybe it's a new twist to the plot, maybe it's, and they have to keep coming back to find out what's going on. Pinterest is a big part of our strategy typically, and a lot of people don't get the value of Pinterest. I have a client last week, for her previous month, she had 3.3 million hits on Pinterest, all organically.
Wow.
3.3 million. She's in Northern Colorado and California, Sacramento, and she has a business called Time Money Matters. Her ideal client is a busy, stretched entrepreneur who's managing family and work, or just a full-time mom. I won't say just, but one or the other. And that's her target market. She has a ranch, she has free-range chickens, and people have fallen in love with Jennifer Dunham through her Pinterest and her Facebook. And I take great pride in the strategy because I wrote it. And I didn't charge it anywhere near enough for that 3 years ago, but hey, it's all good.
I agree.
And then YouTube, because YouTube's part of Google. We've got to get, the first thing Google does, if it looks at the word gifted, it looks for what it knows around the word gifted. And if there are videos that use the word gifted in terms of the title, they'll be ranked like super high straight away, because YouTube and Google are doing a dance on owning that search piece. Google's the world's biggest search engine. YouTube is the second biggest search engine. Would you believe Amazon is the third biggest search engine now?
Nice.
So we got to play on all of those platforms. And then going deeper, the content marketing, which was writing the content of the blog that Lindsay gets much more involved with, getting those first three out there when the website launches, and then building that, and then sharing all of that across social, and then the social media action plan. I think I told you the five E's of social media. The way we teach it is to like really create engagement, which is what we're talking about, really entertaining people, really educating them around what that piece does, empowering them to like want to learn more, and exciting them about the book. And that's all part of our strategy. And the other piece too is what we call they ask you answer. So let's just ask questions constantly, getting them wanting to know the answers, and building that review. So getting Facebook built up, getting Twitter built up if we choose Twitter, Google Plus, which is the SEO piece, LinkedIn piece, the Instagram piece. We also do a lot more work on websites than most people. I mean, a lot of websites look pretty, but they don't work for search. So we actually build a lot into the back end that nobody sees around of the meta description and the alt tag. So if somebody comes, like your blind cat, if your blind cat was Googling and press the button that they have the software to speak to them rather than see them, the button would say, this is a photograph of a gold iPhone X10. That's the alt tag. Most people never do alt tags because they forget. But when you do that, Google loves you for the blind cats. So we do a lot of that as part of our web build, which is a little different. And carrying on. Okay. So Erin, do you want to walk through this bit? Because this was more your brain than mine in this piece.
Well, okay, sure. The price, well, the fee structure is usually different because, like Jonathan said, it's spread over a much shorter window, and whereas this one is over the 6 months. So we've just compartmentalized. What I've had to do is go in and retweak the numbers so that they make sense, spreading out the VIP price over the 6 months as opposed to a 3-month window, or 3 or 4 month window, a 4-month window. Sorry. So what it basically includes is the VIP coaching and live group training payment plan. And all of what you see checked, so you've got the monthly fees as well as the one-time fee. I don't know why the boxes are out of alignment on that's squirrel. That's but anyways, so long story short, I've geared it so that it's a manageable payment plan. You see the 1 month or the one-time fees in there. Those are particular to what you guys are going to need, or what we feel you guys are going to, Jonathan knows you're going to need. I'm still getting familiarized with it all, but this is what I've gone through with pulling out what he's got in his larger scale fee rate sheet. And so, I mean, it's I don't know if you want me to go through each.
Well, I mean, realistically, as I mentioned the other day, the VIP package is a fixed price, and it's a white glove. It includes every single thing that we do. What I want to be able to do is just really let you understand all of the component pieces that go into this. I don't necessarily have like an a la carte menu. It's like, oh, I'd like this, I'd like this, I'd like this. Mm-hmm. I think I know what you need, I'm pretty sure. But what I wanted to do was just let you know how that breaks down. And then, so the VIP package is 45,000. That includes absolutely everything, typically for 3 months, 90-day window, as I said. But we know this is maybe 180-day, 6-month window. We don't need all the money up front, but obviously we manage cash flow. So that's what we were trying to think would work better for you. So that's really what I'm trying to show here, is just how that all comes together. So realistically, the 45,000 over 6 months is about a $7,500 investment per month for everything, for the consulting, the strategy, the implementation, the website build, all of the graphics, all of the liaison, all of the work with partners to create that ripple effect. That's where it all sort of comes in. And the only exceptional cost to that would be when we go into pay-per-click advertising. We'll have to create a budget for actual Facebook ads or Google AdWords, and that would be the only item that would be over and above. Would be when we choose to actually do Facebook ads, what that would look like, and then we agree a budget. So let's say it's $20 for the next 4 days because we want to do a push on everybody getting to know James or Team Charlotte or Team Katie or whatever. I was trying to think of like when the Twilight series came out.
Oh yeah.
Everybody was either Team Jacob or Team Edward, right? And there was hashtags going all over, and people had their wristbands. And I was wondering if we couldn't create like teams of the 6 characters and like polarize people into teams and tribes and different colors, and that's so we might and trend hashtags around that. So we might play with that. I mean,
what about Instagram? What about the Instagram though? Like I'm telling you, I'm clicking on those ads in Instagram every day right now because they're so pinpointed towards me. I'm thinking like they're listening to me on my phone because I'll have a conversation about something, and next thing you know, there's an Instagram ad or a speaker. But I'm just saying, so Instagram would be maybe part of that component. Like we could use that for.
Oh, we will. We totally will. And Instagram comes under Facebook ads. Because it's all done through Facebook Ad Manager.
Okay.
So we'd create target audiences, or we'd say, so we're looking at kids 13 to 18. We're looking at adults, 45 to 65. We're looking at millennials, 23 to 35. And we might have different ad campaigns with graphics that would relate to their eyeballs, excuse me, if you like. And so the only extra cost would be whatever the advertising budget for the actual cost per click that we charge. But everything else, the administering the ads, the running them, the creation is all part of our white glove VIP Platinum price.
Mm-hmm. And what are you usually running for that? Like, what do you think would be an appropriate amount for us?
Oh, that's a little bit of an unknown for me right now because I don't. It's always a bidding war, Paul, and we don't know the cost per click until we go to Google. Yeah. So I have a dentist, an orthodontist. I mean, if I just put in the word braces,
right,
$13 a click in a local targeted area where his practice is. What we might sort of say, our phrase might be Invisalign braces for teens, and I can probably get that down to like $1.30. Mm-hmm. We do what we call long tail phrases. So we have clients that we spend like $3,000 a month on AdWords, and I have others that I have $300. $10 a day is really the minimum to make a difference, to start to make a difference. And obviously we'll ramp this up. We want to try and get a lot of organic build and boost sort of through our audiences, but we will. That's a great question. I haven't put a number to that yet.
Well, there's also the component in terms of, if they're clicking on this ad, is it clicking to, where's it going? Like, are they getting something?
These would be going to the Drip campaign landing pages initially to get their emails.
Okay.
And then we would be boosting certain posts to friends of friends who like our page.
So it's post boosting. Okay.
So there's a dual strategy. One is list building and one is audience. Enhancement, if you like. So we'd be doing both.
Okay. In the 45,000 and in the 7,500 a month, does that include your one-time costs, or is that a separate?
That's everything. That's completely everything. Yeah.
Is 7,500 for the 7,494 whatever that I can't see on your screen.
I just wanted to show you what comes into it all.
Yeah.
Because I knew.
Okay, so that's everything that was detailed out is included in that bottom number,
Yes,
except
the cost
for
of ads
that will
going
have
forward.
pay-per-click ads.
that's right.
Yeah.
What I always say to people is I never want someone to come back to me and say, oh, you didn't tell me that.
Yeah.
Or I didn't know you needed that. This is the white glove. Because my daughter works, I think I said to her, a private super yacht. And she white gloves the detailing of her crew. And so Debbie's got 2 pairs of white gloves in our china cabinet now from Gemma because I'm just so used to this white glove finger test. So it's in my brain now that I want you to be able to walk through my ship, white glove anything on any deck, and there's no dust.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same with the marketing strategy. We don't want to leave any corner unturned, sort of thing.
So then, okay, so you just made that statement that you don't want me to ever come back and say, I didn't know I needed that, or I didn't know I had to ask for that. So.
Correct.
So what does that mean in our relationship? Does that mean we work together and you just do what needs to be done? Is that
and with our call strategy, I'll tell you what we're doing.
That's where the coaching comes in, Paul. You guys are going to have, right? I mean, that's the thing, is that's where the coaching comes in, and that you have a main line to Jonathan. So really, it's like you're never going to not know what's coming. You know?
Yes. Yeah. And it's like I'm trying to think of an example. I mean, I'm working with a lady yesterday, and I looked at her website online, and even though the website date at the bottom says 2018, her website's not mobile friendly. I mean, it really isn't. And she said, yeah, my website's 3 years old. I know that. But there are times that people, if the website designer doesn't get asked for a certain piece of website design, they may not do it. And they say, oh, you didn't ask for that. We already know what the optimum standard is on a world-class website, and we include all of that anyway. And that's just the reason that we do the way we do it, is that we never want to we often do more than people know that we do, and sometimes maybe you need at the time. But I know we've covered it, belt and braces, as the old phrase would be, kind of thing. So
yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, my initial thoughts are, I'm just excited. It's really exciting to me. I never envisioned. I didn't even. I vision a lot of. I see a lot of stuff how I want it to be, and I never even. I never even saw this coming. I guess is a good way to put it. I plan a lot of things out in my mind, and I didn't. But I don't know if it's the marketer in me, but it excites me, and
I'm uber excited too.
Yeah, on multiple levels, because number one, it's people who are professionals who are going to help us reach our goal. Number two, it's the strategizing and the conversation, and it's so appealing that it's not just okay, this is what we decided today, when we don't even know what's going to happen, and that's what we're going to do. It's this ongoing thing where we're just as fluid as social media is, and we're adapting to, and we're making those changes all the time so that we have what we need,
And so the social media landscape next June, I guarantee, will be different than it is today.
Right.
We don't know what it'll be, but I know it'll be different.
Yeah. So that all to me is just, it's exciting. Like,
it's creating, you're Frankenstein about to electrocute the body and bring it to life.
I haven't heard of that one before, but yeah.
It's fun. It's, I don't know how Kim feels, or Kim is feeling overwhelmed.
Well, not necessarily. It's really exciting to me too. And one of the things that I was thinking about as you were talking just now, Paul, is that for me personally, I love a collaborative effort. Mm-hmm. I can be very autonomous, but I love a collaborative effort. And I think that's why we wrote a book together,
Mhm.
and Paul and I are very hands-on, and we are very interactive, and we run everything by the other. We don't do anything independently and go, oh, by the way, surprise. We don't do that. And thus far, the people that we have worked with have been that way too. And I sense that we would have a really terrific collaborative effort. Yeah, that it would be creative, and it would be spot on, and it would do what we want it to do and what we expect it to do. And that is really exciting. I was telling Paul recently that we are so close to meeting our goals that I feel like I can reach out and touch it.
Wow.
That, we're just so close. We're right up. We're just coming up to the tipping point here.
Wow.
Yes.
And it's just really, really exciting to watch it all come together. And the timing of you circling back to us.
Go figure, hey? Yes.
I've said to Paul, this is not coincidence. This is divine operation. Is the way things are going. So, and I think
when you're on the right path, things synchronize, and the right people start to present themselves, because the universe and that it's divine intervention. It's really starting to. It's going, okay, now's your time. Here you go.
Yep.
But you also know to recognize those opportunities, because if people are blind, then they won't. But you're there because you. Yeah.
Well,
because you're gifted.
Because we're gifted. Well, and we don't think of in terms of why shouldn't we do this.
Yes.
We think in terms of why should we do this,
Wow.
which is a completely
That's
different.
powerful.
It's very powerful, and it's a completely different way of looking at things.
Yes.
We don't try and talk each other out of stuff. If we say, I think we should do this, okay, let's do this.
Yeah.
And typically, yep, exactly. So we're different in that way, and yeah, exciting.
Very exciting. Very exciting.
Exciting. So not only do I have to fall in love with you, but I have to fall in love with Facebook.
I can help you with that.
Yeah.
I
know.
can.
I'm not a fan either. Now I am.
I love Facebook. It's my favorite platform of all of them.
Yeah.
And I have rekindled relationships from school days. I have built relationships. I have relationships with people I've never physically met, but man, do I feel close to people. And,
and I have to tell you, Jonathan, I got this little message in my email today from Alignable. Look and see all these people who have looked at you. And I go and I click, and there's Jonathan. First thing is there's Jonathan. I'm like, you know what? You cannot hide. You cannot hide. You try and hide. Like you couldn't find me on Facebook, Erin, and you found me on Facebook, and you found me on LinkedIn, and you found me on Alignable. You cannot hide.
No, for sure.
Especially now where you're going with this book, you won't be able to at all. As
you can tell, I live and breathe social media. I don't know if I told you, the reason I opened Facebook in the first place back in 2007 was for us to send pictures of my mom to my mom, before she passed away, because she was terminally ill with cancer. And that's how we started Facebook, just purely family, to have an interface to send pictures to their nana, as it were. And that's how it all started for us.
Yeah. And look where it's gone for you now.
Yeah.
Okay, so we expect the same.
Okay.
I'm not saying, I'm just saying.
I love you.
No question about that one. Yeah. And Instagram, Pinterest, LinkedIn, Google, all of those, YouTube, they'll all fold into the mix.
Okay.
Yeah.
Over time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
all right.
Awesome. Well, so let me run this by, I want to just talk with my mentor about this, but I see no reason that I have no red flags with this. I I feel very, very good about it. Kim and I can talk some more, but we've already said, I mean, we feel like this is our path, and that it was presented to us at this time, and it's not by accident. And so we put a lot of stock into that, and every conversation that we've had has helped to support that. And this one today, I mean, my excitement level is just through the roof. I want to go cry now. I'm so excited.
No kidding, about noon, Erin and I both said, we need to go and get dressed.
Yeah, he's calling me and I'm showering, and then I'm like texting, I'm going, look, I'm making cream, I'm blow drying, like I'm
I just shaved.
Oh my God.
I love it.
It's been a good day. It's been a very good day.
Definitely.
And then in terms of payment terms, we typically just do a credit card, either MasterCard or Visa, and then we keep that on file. If that works for you, that's just easy how we do it.
Okay, so did I see on there that there was a down payment?
So typically we like to get a down payment to secure your slot.
Okay. And what is your down payment?
I'm having this week, but I have.
It's on the proposal, Paul. It's just 10%. So it's the 4,500 is like today or tomorrow or this week. If you're good, green light, and then or even next week, it doesn't matter. I'm just saying, like, it's 10%, and then the remainder is due by like January 2nd of that first 7,500.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you won't get another. You won't be again. It's not until February when the monthly starts to roll.
And the nice thing is, us invoicing you out of province is like there's no sales tax on our invoices, so.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
So it saves you a little. There's no tax. But yeah.
That's huge, you guys. Oh my God.
So the 4,500 is taken out of our first.
Yes,
Yeah.
correct.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just a secure deposit to save your space.
To hold your spot, to get you guys into the boot camp, the power content, the VIP acts, everything, because we have to set up that into our matrix, so to speak, as soon as we get you in.
Yeah. Oh, I did have a question about the boot camp. Is that an actual event, or is that like, what is that?
So great question. So it's a lot. I don't teach anything other than live when I teach social media. So the boot camp is a 5-week course that I deliver live, starting January 15th at Tuesdays at 2 p.m. Pacific.
Yeah.
And then on Thursdays at 10 a.m. Pacific. So I have a teaching module and a Q&A module separate. So that is a live boot camp that I take people through on a journey, and we already have 15 people pre-registered.
It's your social media training, so you're also getting the DIY if you want to do stuff yourself too.
If you want your partner or another team member in the family who wants to sort of jump in, you can have multi-seats to that.
So how often is that?
So that runs for 5 straight weeks.
Okay.
And it runs once a quarter. So we've just done one. We've just done 2 in the last quarter. One for a group of real estate investors in Florida, would you believe?
Oh, really?
Another one for general public. So
nice.
we have our own internal academy, and you get access to that. So everything is delivered live, but recorded with worksheets. And if you wanted, I can give you access to the previous version. So even over the holidays, if you wanted to immerse yourself in my brain and the way I teach social media, you could do that.
Kim's shaking her head.
You could. I didn't say you had to. I'm saying
That's funny. So when do you anticipate that one? The next one will start?
The next one starts January
15th.
Oh,
yeah.
January 15th. Great.
And then also so you get the Tuesday training, and then you also the Thursdays, which is the virtual coffee. That's the Q&A session. So all these like executive and entrepreneurs and leadership coaches and all these dynamic people jump on there, and you're on the,
that's great. I love that.
And they're all doing the Q&A. It's a time for you to be able to like talk about your business, what you do, what's coming up. So it's a really great platform. And then the power content, I'm sorry, I'm so vain. The power content is is Lindsay, and she's the one who, that's again, hard, like deep dive into how you create and you like everything to do with content for blogging, which is a major, it's a pivotal piece of your campaigning. So Lindsay's the one who teaches that, but Jonathan's usually on those as well. I'm usually on them. So, I mean, you're getting all this one-on-one live training with a group of people that are equally as passionate, equally as influential, like they go to the Bob Proctor, stuff. They do all those kinds of events as well. So it's pretty neat.
Cool.
Some pretty big names in the next one already.
Great.
Funny enough. Yeah.
Great. Well, Kim, do you have any other questions? Okay.
Okay.
All right. So we will reach out. I'll reach out and do this as fast as I can, and then get back as fast as we can. Okay.
No worries at all. Great.
Thank you so much. This is wonderful. I'm excited.
Thank you. This is our best call yet.
Yay!
Yeah.
All right, you guys.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Awesome.
I'll just drop my cell number. Oh, yeah, it's on email. My cell number's on email.
Okay.
If you want to text me.
Wonderful. Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay.
All right.
Bye,
Thank you
guys.
so much, everyone.
Bye.
Okay. See ya.
Bye for now.